And welcome. We're going to look at some baseball pictures here on the Lighting Essentials part of Project 52. And we're going to start out with middle DN's shot. This is a good concept. Waiting for the ball game. Nobody's around. This took a little bit of effort to get into this stadium to make this shot. I like that. I like that we're working this shot, and the camera angle, everything is just so precise. Post-processing is nice. It's nice and bright back here. Keep all these tonalities nice in the bright range, and that brings us down to our guy. And I like the way you have his head hanging over into these leading lines. So we're really leading up to this very, anxious guy waiting for the ball game to come. So that's pretty cool. I think this is well done, and it's concepted, and it's not a grab shot. And we're seeing too many grab shots, so we're gonna have to. I got a plan on dealing with that. All right, so we have Chris Dean, the British Summer. What does it say? Boys of British Summer. Oh, two teams there in Bristol. Great sky back there. My my concern is twofold on this shot, and I like that first shot better than the second one. I like this sort of shot here. My concern is twofold. One is that this shadow is very sharp on him, and I realize you've got one speed light to work with here. At least that's what it looks like. Looks like a little light on that ball there too, though, doesn't it? Let's say how he did it. Yeah, needed a backlight. Yeah, so I see. Oh, that's a little bit of the front light catching it. Yes. When you're using a hard strobe like that, watch out for anything large to cause a shadow. Now, if this glove had been down lower here, it wouldn't have cast that big a shadow, or it would have been hidden with his arm right there with it. A second light would have been very nice to have to bring it from over here to light this up, but not split lighting it, letting it give it just a little edge right to it there. Processing looks pretty good. We've got the tonality in the trees, and that very dark, stormy, looks like a very heavy weather day. I think that worked out pretty well. But yeah, this particular shadow, when you see these shadows on the back of your camera these days, you got to look at them, look for these shadows. When you see that big and that sharp, then figure out how you can get rid of it, not necessarily moving the light, but maybe moving the subject a little bit. Notice in this shot, we don't have that big shadow thing happening because we don't have anything large between the main light and the subject. Tammy Bogstrand. All right, Tammy set this stuff out on the lawn here. Tammy, I'm not real crazy about this first shot because it looks like it's just sitting there. Okay? It's almost a grab shot, even though obviously it's not a grab shot. It's just kind of like they're sitting over here, right? Now this one here, this one really works. There's a design to this. You've created something with these three items here. And of course the little flowers don't hurt at all. You've created something where here it just looks it's just not, tight enough. This works very well. That shot's nice little sort of added shot. If I was doing an editorial, I might grab this and use it as a little filler shot or something. But that's the shot by all measures. Your post-processing with your vignette, that works. If you're going to try something like this, get some lighting out there and do something with it other than just putting it in the grass. And I know it's not, you didn't just put it in the grass, but that's what it appears. So, all right, pitching kids took turns getting their ups. Absolutely, I remember that. Okay, all right. This is the pitcher throwing the ball, and he's just let it go, and photographer caught it right there at that moment. Nicely done. Nice light coming from here. It looks like it's a bit of a hard light, maybe a small soft box. Okay. Yep. And the only thing to me is it's cropped just a little bit. I wouldn't show this right, because his you know, his shirt comes up over his jeans. His shirt comes up over his jeans, and there's just so much action down here. We don't need it. Maybe crop it right up in here. Let me see if I can crop it here. Right there. We still got our field. Still got our fence. Still got our trees and everything else that's important. But we don't have that distraction of what's going on down here. Where is it? What's his hand doing and all those things here. Nice catch on the shutter there. No pun intended on that. F11. F11, this one's really nice. It doesn't say how you lit it. That's okay because it's very nicely done. I love the light coming in across this mitt, seeing all that texture here. We don't see a lot of texture in the $20 bills and the stuff back here, but we see it right here in this mitt, and we see it in the ball. And we see that line of focus, to mitt and ball coming together there. Leading lines work real well. Composition works pretty well. Yeah, I like it. I think you could have gone deeper with it. And what I mean by gone deeper, and I don't mean that in a baseball term. Sorry about all these baseball terms getting thrown out. But what I mean by going deeper is like, is there a way to pull them together even more? There's 4 elements here. Actually, 5 elements. What is it? 4. No, 5 elements with the background. There's 5 elements here. And I still feel like we could get them tighter somehow to tell this story without as much negative space. Now, the negative space may work for certain shots. There's some shots, yeah, I could run some type down in here, but the baseball sits over here, and we've got these things here, and it just seems like it's too much space. This is a good shot. I just think we could just take it up one more notch. Oh, look at this. All right, this is Tracy Sutherland. Okay, Tracy's got the yoga person here doing this. Great floor, great background. The only thing I think I would add to this, Tracy, is to lighten this background right behind her. Right here. Just a few percentage-wise. So we had a little bit of a gradient to this background. You can do that one of 2 ways. You can either put a layer over her at overlay, take your white, very soft white brush, really big, at 8%, and tap it 3 times, boom, 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 and you'll probably have a nice little halo here. And of course it goes on her face, so you go in on that layer with a mask and just paint it with black and get rid of that lightness on her, what's covering her there. So, you know, yeah, that's the only thing I would add to this, and I think it would really, really be a cool thing to see on it. Like the lady, like the pose, love the wall, the stripe, everything, nicely done. Good, good, good. Take it a little bit farther. All right, made shot. All right, yes, but he got a grab shot. Okay. All right, yeah, you know, if you're, yeah, you can claim a made shot when you get everything right down to the thing. The difference in advertising would have been, of course, you'd have number 3, you'd have this young man, you'd have this young man, and he would roll into that base, you know, 6 or 8 times until you got the absolutely perfect look on each one of their faces. This kid could be more animated if it was advertising. He'd be like down with his arms up, screaming like "get him" or whatever, something like that. And this guy, of course, has got his tongue out. Well, I hope he doesn't bite his tongue off coming down. This guy's doing great. So yeah, it's kind of a setup because you knew where the action was, but not quite in the terms we mean. It's still a good shot. Bob Nill got this young man out here. This is a setup shot. This is put together. Bob's got the light here on this young man. He's got another one coming up here, which is giving this the feeling of stadium lights. Now, the only thing that I would like to see for stadium lights, Bob, one more light. See where this young man's hanging his mitt down? He could be hiding a strobe back there straight up with a like a Stofan or a Fongster or something on top of it and lighting that up back there. almost like field lights, and his glove would hide it. So one more light there. Good pose, good realistic action from your subject here, and the light works pretty well. This shadow at one part intrigues me because it does look like stadium lighting, and the other part it just really bothers me because it makes such a perfect triangle and our eyes go right to it. Suki B, all right, we've got this young lady out here at the field. Suki, that's a nice shot. You made it. I don't think you made it enough. So what I'm saying is you've got this adorable young lady with the hat and the base and the ball. How can you make this shot even more powerful? Did you shoot it with a wide angle from dirt level? Did you try a really long lens on it? Because this shot, while it's good, it's just good, and we need to move this shot up from good to great, from that's great to, or that's that's a nice shot, up to, oh my God, that's a killer shot. And the way you do that is you just keep sketching with that camera, pulling it in tight, backing it up, have the kid hold the ball, have the, try a low shot shooting up, maybe a high shot shooting down. If you did all those things, that's fine. If this is a shot you ended up, that's fine. I just think it's a little static. It doesn't pull me in to come. It doesn't. Well, it does tell a story. I mean, there's a story here for sure. But there's so many more elements we could make more of a story if this young lady was over there with her hand on the baseball. That would show a connection between her and the ball. Different things like that. So really, Suki B, you're really on the right track with this. I just want to push you harder to make something better than you think you can, and get out there with that camera and sketch. When I'm sketching with my when I'm sketching out a shot, I put my camera in P or auto or whatever. I don't care. I don't want to think about exposure. I don't want to think about anything. I just want to think about turning a 3D subject into a 2D subject. How's it going to look? How's the light going to work? What's my background going to be? How are all these elements going to work? And I'll try low shots and high shots and long lenses and whatever until I look on the back and I say, okay, there's something there. That's what I want to do. And then I'll spend the rest of the time perfecting that. So, all right. Damian Powell, that's just a lovely shot there, Damian. Beautiful light all the way through this. You've got perfect use of depth of field to bring our eyes to these red chords and show us something we haven't seen before, which is this very, very tight shot of a baseball stitching, also, or some sort of ball stitching, isn't it? It's baseball, isn't it? Let's see. Okay. Yeah, it is a baseball. It's got a kind of a funky shape to it. But yeah, and a real testament to what that little Power Shot G10 can do. It's a great shot. It sucks for sports because it's the shutter lag, but yeah, I think you did a very, very fine job with that. That's very attractive, and it's a nice looking shot, and it would look beautiful large on a wall, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that make a great graphic up on the wall of the Cincinnati Reds office? Absolutely. Or the Boston Red Sox, or whatever one we have. Okay, Ego F stop. We shot a ball on a black background. I think you did a good job at it. I just would say that it's not. This doesn't. It doesn't thrill me. I'm not sure that it thrilled you. I don't think you looked through the camera and said, "Oh wow, that's cool." Okay, and I think what we need to do is if we're going to do a shot of a ball on a black background, we got to say, "Oh my God, that's cool." And how do we do that? Maybe some little mirrors or some aluminum foil, or we do a little motion blur to it, or something. Or maybe we're too far away, we get too much dead air, but something other than the ball sitting there on the black background, because I don't think it has enough guts to it. It doesn't pull me in and say, oh, I want to know more about this picture, or I want to tell a story about this picture, or wow, you're showing me something I've never seen before, or what a neat perspective, or any of those things. And that's what we got to work on. So ego f-stop, you've got to get that ball out again. And what else can you do with this ball? And stay on black, because your idea is shooting it on black. That's your idea. That's your concept. That's great. Stay on black. What else can you do with this ball on black? Because I think you can do more with it than what you're doing in that particular shot. Yeah. Nick's shot is baseball players. Very cool, Nick. Nice processing. Got a nice open, airy feel to it. Still got a little bit of a nice bite to it as well. And I like that. What the heck's going on outside? Sorry, folks. Nothing. All right. Just for giggles. Yeah. All right, Damien. Well, you know what? That's pretty fun. And that's how you drink a Stella right there. Go into the bar and they give you one little slice of orange on the top. No, man, I want 3 or 4 slices. Excellent. Not a bad shot. I think you've got some good fill going on over here. I think the sunlight is probably a little harsh, creating these really weird speculars. This is where that 5-in-1 reflector, the diffuser inside the 5-in-1, really comes in handy for that, because you can take it with you. Okay, GKMB. These are, what are these, GKMB? Okay. Yeah, GKMB says no baseball in Sweden. You're absolutely right. Flora, who is up there in Sweden, she actually had a friend of hers who was in Scottsdale, of all places, bring her back one, and I guess she got it in her hands like about 8 hours before the thing was due, and did her shot. This is the one that I like, but this is killing the shot. So I mean, this is the one that I like, but I like it with that crap out of the back. You see what I'm saying? If we're going to come in tight like this, you're going to have to do something with the leaves. We don't want to see the inside of that leaf. We want to see the outside of that leaf, because the inside's got this stem coming up, and that becomes confusing. So really work these shots. If you find a shot like this, work it, work it, work it. Excellent. And I mean, it's an excellent idea to do. Yes, you didn't need a baseball, but you got to take this through even farther. If you're going to do a shot like this, which is kind of a found object, and then you're going to shoot it, okay, that's fine. But you got to take it from found object photojournalist approach to found object advertising approach, which means we don't want to see the insides of these leaves. And some of these leaves would look beautifully backlit. How do we get some backlit leaves back in here? We cover up, whatever that is right there in the background with some more leaves, and really spend some time on it. Cool. Lola. Okay, Lola, we got the young man and the bat, and his back is to us, and he is waiting to waiting for those people to come. Yep, and this the tagline is perfect. They'll arrive at your door as innocent as children, longing from the past. A line from one of my absolute favorite, all-time favorite movies. And by the way, y'all know that movie's really not about baseball. Baseball is the platform to discuss something else, and it's a fabulous movie. Just like, I don't know if you ever read or watched Bagger Vance, but Bagger Vance is not about golf. When I talk to somebody, I go, well, it was a golf movie. I'm like, no. All right, this was a good one too here. Lola, I like your very simple concept, getting the young man out there in the field, so you're not trying to pretend. He's waiting for something. He's seeing something that's not there. Good light, Lola. You'll have to let us know. Oh, here we go. Bear ASB 800 on a stand and camera left pointed at subject's back. Okay. No, you know what? You said you needed a brighter blue sky. I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I like the sky you have. That dark blue sky, and that top shot, dark blue sky just wouldn't work. This sky is probably as dark as I would go for it. In fact, I probably would go ahead and lighten it back up because it has a sense of fall when it's like this. If it's real blue, it has that sort of summer thing to it. So it has a sense of spring or fall, spring actually, to get that sky. So I like it. It also seems a little cold. I like that. I like it a lot. And that's it. Oh my, we just don't have very many people on Project 52 this year. Oh, no, no, no. I hate that. We just got to get more people. Call up your friends, call up your relatives, call up your buds and say, get on Project 52. We got to do this. I want Don to do instead of a 21-minute movie, I want to sit here and do a 60-minute movie. All right? I want to do a lot. And if we can't get more people, then heck, we'll let you put up more pictures. How's that? So yeah, let's do that. This is a good assignment. We'll look at the selfies and see how they go. And thanks everybody for participating.